And what is up, everybody? Just finished watching the teaser trailer for Lucha Underground Season 2. Oh man, I've been waiting so long for this because it was kind of iffy. It was very, very iffy if there was even going to be a Season 2. They said that there was going to be, but it's like it was a bunch of different things because apparently last season they shot the entire show under budget. They shot the entire season under budget, but they still weren't sure if they were going to get a second season because apparently, like the location that they were doing, the temple, that warehouse they were shooting in, apparently it was too expensive to shoot there. Even though they shot under budget, it was still too expensive. And I guess they're trying to be able to pay they're trying to be able to pay the wrestlers, I guess, the luchadors, I should say, more money. So it's somewhat understandable. So apparently they had to. If you watched the season finale, Ultima Lucha, what winds up happening is Dario Puerto, after the last match, he's like, "Oh man, I was hoping this wasn't gonna happen," and he pulls all his money and clears his office, and then you watch all the luchadors slowly but surely all just abandoning the temple, going somewhere else. Now, this little teaser doesn't show where it's gonna be, but basically shows a majority of the luchadores coming back, with the exception of Alberto El Patron, once again Alberto Del Rio, which kind of pisses me off because all the BS he said about them not respecting Mexicans, this, that, the other, and being the AAA, winning the AAA Mega Championship, for him to basically just turn around and just go back to exactly what he was doing before, where he said he wasn't appreciated. What the hell sense does that make? whether or not it's for money, this, that, the other, I don't necessarily care. But it's a shame because he was a great addition. He was a very good addition to the show. I was shocked to see how much more, even for Johnny Morrison, now Johnny Mundo, seeing him in WWE, he was good. Seeing him in Lucha Underground, he's phenomenal. Because like I said, they pre-record all the shows, so these guys aren't constantly having to travel, constantly having to hurt themselves over and over and over again, day in, day out. And so, obviously, the performances that these guys are able to put on are leaps and bounds better than anything both TNA and WWE could put out. So, that being said, the last thing that they showed, spoiler alert, Rey Mysterio is making his way to Lucha Underground. Personally, I think it's a better fit, but at the same time, because of how old he is, because let's face it, man, he's been wrestling for what, almost, I don't know, like well over 20 years now. For him to come into Lucha Underground now, a majority of the real, the high flyers that they have there, Aerostar, Drago, Prince Puma, Phoenix, Argenis, Angelico, all these guys, even Son of Havoc, all of these guys make Rey Mysterio in WWE look stiff as a board. So I don't know exactly what is it that they're going to be able to do with him here, but he's on the roster. It's good to it's definitely going to help boost up morale more than anything. And since Chavo Guerrero's there, they're obviously going to renew the rivalry between them and maybe see some rivalries that happen that you didn't see in WWE or in WCW or TNA or anything, or ECW or any of the places that Rey Mysterio or Chavo had been. But now thanks to the fact that this is Lucha Underground and you have a bunch of Mexican legend wrestlers coming in. You have Blue Demon Jr., you have Tejano, you have Mil Muertes, stuff like that. It might be sparking some new rivalries altogether. Not to mention the fact that you got Conan, who was Rey Mysterio's manager in WCW. So it's good, and wherever else he was manager for. So that's gonna be cool to see that stuff happening again. I'm just excited because this is what pro wrestling was supposed to be. This is what, thanks to stuff like the Attitude Era and the PG era of WWE, and the fact that Triple H runs WWE right now, and he pretty much looking after guys who are more or less his clique. Somewhat understandable, but at the same time, when you have somebody in the WWE universe like Samoa Joe, and you put him in the development league, and then why the hell hasn't he gotten a NXT title shot yet? Or better yet, if he has, because I don't watch anything WWE. Why isn't he NXT champion yet? Because unfortunately for Samoa Joe, that is the most he is ever going to be able to do in WWE. Why? Because despite the fact that he's a better performer, despite that he's a much better technical wrestler than anybody they have on their roster, he doesn't have the look. He's too fat. He's never going to get it. Look how long it took for them for Mark Henry to win the World Heavyweight title. How long did he have it for? That's a guy who put 15 years into the business. This is a guy who was at one point the world's strongest man, and couldn't win a WWE title. Big Show. He got it because obviously he's big, he's a giant. So they treat him the same way they treated Andre the Giant. But look at John Cena. Nothing technical. Nothing about John Cena's performances ever have wowed me, with the exception of his SmackDown debut against Kurt Angle. That was shocking. He has yet to put on a performance like that again. Brock Lesnar, obviously giant, all-American wrestler, big in shape. UFC, he was WWE champion, and now was a short-lived UFC champion, unfortunately because of diverticulitis. So this is the problem with WWE. This is the problem that's continuing to happen with WWE. This is not going to happen in Lucha Underground. The biggest problem with Lucha Underground is that it does not have enough money. It's underfunded. The fact that we had to wait the fact that they have to do stuff in television seasons, the fact that it took this long for season 2 to start, the fact that basically like I said, they brought back the jobbers. They brought back the journeymen. It's like they can't afford to have just regular guys on their roster. They had to make the fact that they don't have a women's division, that the only women in the company have to fight men. That's one of the biggest problems, and especially in the foreseeable future. I don't know how much longer it's going to be on, but I know this: it's awesome. It's awesome. It's better than anything out there, and it's I was been sitting on pins and needles, waiting to hear word for season 2. Now, January 27th, 2016. Lucha Underground is back on the El Rey Network, and I cannot wait. I don't know if they're going to have Rey Mysterio right off the bat. I don't know if they're going to have Phoenix, who won the Gift of the Gods, go immediately after Mil Muertes. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm done talking. You guys have a good night.